Telling a dismissive avoidant that they are a dismissive avoidant almost always backfires unless you do it in exactly this way. So in today's video, because this was such a huge popular request we had, I'm going to break down exactly what this way actually is in 3 major steps. And honestly, unless you get all 3 of these steps correct, this may backfire as a whole. And I'm not just talking like romantic relationships, of course, romantic relationships, but this can also really backfire if this is your friend or your family member. So pay close attention. Number 1, dismissive avoidants tend to really jump to the conclusion that when you're telling them they're a dismissive avoidant, that you're basically shaming them as their character. Like, you are dysfunctional, you're defective. It's a big core wound that they have. And just like an anxious attachment style often jumps to the core wound that they're being rejected or abandoned or alone, the moment that somebody is not responding to them in the way that they hoped, dismissive avoidants jump to the core wound of, oh, you think that I'm shameful or defective, like broken fundamentally at my core, the moment that you tell them that they're a dismissive avoidant. And so it's really important that we learn to circumvent that core wound if you're going to have this conversation. Okay. Number 2, how we actually do this is you start by saying what attachment styles are. I have always told people, because I used to have clients all the time who are dating dismissive avoidants, and they'd be like, how do I have this conversation with my partner? And I would say, don't say, and trust me, I saw this with like thousands of people over the years. This is tried, tested, and true. Don't say, oh, you're a dismissive avoidant and I'm this one. Because again, they don't want to hear it after that. They don't want to like listen to you or hear what you have to say. The best thing to do is to say it like this. Hey, I've been learning that there are 4 attachment styles. Describe each attachment style in like 2 sentences max. Tell them that your attachment style isn't a personality disorder. It's not like some kind of negative connotation in that sort of way. It's just a subconscious set of rules that people learn, patterns that they've learned in terms of how to give and receive love. And that your attachment style has a huge impact on the way you show up in relationships. And if you have a different attachment style than somebody else, it's kind of like playing a board game with a different set of rules, like literally a different rule book. You have the rules for Monopoly, they have the rules for Scrabble. Obviously, it's going to be problematic unnecessarily. Tell them that, describe that, say the anxious one sometimes is clingy or needy in relationships, they fear abandonment. The dismissive avoidant, they're hyper independent, they actually fear being vulnerable, and they tend to create a lot of distance to create control. And the fearful avoidant is really hot and cold. They feel highly anxious, but they tend to be more turbulent in relationships. Keep it super simple. Once you have that down, have that conversation, say, this is the one I think I am, and which one do you think you are? That's literally how you say it to them. And before I get to point number 3, which is the most important part of all of this, I want to let you know, if you are somebody who's working on this relationship right now, it could be with a friend, a family member, anything, I have a free masterclass you can literally check out. It's live. You can come in, you can ask me questions. It's all about loving an avoidant, whether it's a fearful avoidant that you're loving or a dismissive avoidant, or if you are one of those 2 yourself. And it goes deep into how this relationship may have challenges and pain points and how to circumvent those in the easy way in advance. It's like a roadmap masterclass. So you can understand everything you would need, everything they would need, and how to make sure that you're connecting with them without abandoning yourself in the process. And again, it's live. It's about 90 minutes. You can join me and I'll put the link down below. Now, after you've said this to them, after you've like literally brought up, here's the 4 attachment styles, here's what they are, it can be like a 15-20 second spiel as if you're sharing something you're interested in. Ask them, which one do you think that you are? And this is where you're going to see the vast majority of the time, dismissive avoidants say, oh, I think I'm the dismissive avoidant one. If they don't, the second most likely scenario that they're going to tell you is they think that they're secure. And securely attached individuals, sometimes dismissive avoidants think they're secure initially because they're no drama. They avoid drama like the plague. So sometimes because they avoid drama, they think, oh, I'm the secure one. But avoidance of drama doesn't include avoidance of emotions as a whole and avoidance of vulnerability. What you can say there, which is really important, is if they do say, well, I think I'm the secure one, you might say something like, oh, interesting. Well, securely attached people, they're really good at being vulnerable and communicating openly. And they often tend to initiate vulnerability and, really want to work through conflict in relationships. Do you still think you're that one? And that way you're putting it back on them. And then they might say, well, maybe I'm more of the dismissive avoidant then. And that is going to be where you get the highest batting average of them realizing and understanding that they are DA with the lowest amount of negative repercussions or conflict. And then from there, it's your job to really vet if this person's willing to plug in and do the work and show up and meet you partway. Because if you're the only one doing the work in the relationship, obviously that becomes imbalanced and unfair. And they don't have to be doing work in the exact same way as you. It doesn't have to be from a course or a book or going to therapy, but they need to be learning to communicate, put themselves out there, be more open, be more regulated, practice vulnerability. Like there needs to be good green flags that you're betting for. So stay on the lookout for those things. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for watching. Let me know questions you have down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video where we talk about this topic in a little more detail. And I will see you there. Thanks for watching.